welcome back to your Business Morning on Sunrise Daily. We head to the markets now. It's been 2 days since the central bank started the implementation or reintroduction, I should say, of the Dutch auction system. Trading in the currency market. We'll talk about that, but let's celebrate with the NGX investors there. At least yesterday was a very green day for that market. Gained 1.05%, added 577 billion naira to the market cap. But I mean, we've done better than this in all the times. 55.70 trillion naira is what the market cap closed at the close of trade yesterday. Activity chart was in the red, in the green, I beg your pardon, looking so good. And we recovered to 98,000 level, 98,116.27. And the drivers of this, the Fugas did MTN also. We've seen them do topsy-turvy. But yesterday was a green one for them. Very green day for MTN investors, MTN Nigeria investors, as well as banking. Banking we see gained 1.72%. You rarely see such movement in a single trading session, but that's what we had right there. The Fugas, of course, led that a movement. Consumer goods went up also 0.54%. Industrial goods seem to missed out in the fun of yesterday. Insurance, penny stocks growing 1.38% of, and oil and gas did not miss out of that. Access Coal still in the market, obviously the rights issue and all, as well as GT, and they got some of those goodies yesterday. Traded 115.98 million in volume. That's for Access Coal, while GT Coal did 108.92. But I think our interest this morning is in the financial market. If we could have the Naira back, and we have Dimola Oshitoki, he is a fixed income dealer with Access Bank. Well, Access, of course, did well yesterday. Hi, Dimola, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yeah, I wish you the same. So we said the Naira has gained 2 days now since the Dutch auction system started. I wonder if I should put my heart there and expect that it's always going to be like this.
Yeah, I think you're right. So what we've seen within the past, this week essentially was, some positive sentiment within the market. So the CBN detailed out that they were going to do a Dutch auction, and essentially what it was to meet a lot of effective demand that had not been met within the market. And by effective demand, what I mean is people who had a genuine need for dollars, but also had the Naira to be able to back it. So how this auction worked was essentially banks were working to collect some of essentially the demand from customers and ensuring that they had the sufficient funding for that to take place. We saw the results that were released yesterday, and as the past couple of days have gone, we've seen that positive sentiment, although we've seen a slight appreciation. So yesterday it was a slight appreciation by about 2 Naira. So it is sending positive indication within the markets because, the CBN, a bit contrary to how it worked in the past Dutch auction, resolved everything at spots, meaning that everyone got their dollars yesterday. And we should see the impact of the debits within the markets, within the figures that will be released today.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some concerns. I don't know. I mean, you guys are closer. Perhaps you've heard this. How often can we expect the CBN's intervention or the auctions to take place? Is there a target, for the bidding? Some of those little details seems to also cause a bit of uncertainty among investors.
I think I agree with you, but I think, from this auction, what we've seen is the cutoff was 1,495. So this would suggest that, this is an area that is comfortable for the CBN at the moment. Essentially, I think it's a good thing. What we expect to see is if this is something that's going to be a bit more frequent. So if they would do this maybe bi-weekly or once a month, and it would definitely help in terms of helping to reduce the pressure in terms of that demand, because, for the month of July, we did see CBN come into intervene within the market repeatedly with banks, but essentially that did not help to resolve because we did see that steady trend of depreciation of the Naira against the dollar. So this is a drive in terms of helping to mop up some of that excess demand that has not been met. The total size was about 1.8 billion, of which 876 million were deemed acceptable. So essentially, we're looking at it at about 74% of that were deemed acceptable. That demand has now been taken out of the market. So that would definitely help in terms of easing that pressure. So we should see the Naira begin to appreciate steadily against the dollar. So I'm expecting that, within the next couple of weeks, we should see it stabilize around maybe 1,400 to 1,500, which is much better than the trend we were seeing, in the previous weeks of about 1,600. So I think slight progress, and then we expect, and we wait to see what, the CBI will do if this is going to be more frequent.
Yeah, Dimola, I'll be praying for 700 at least. I don't know if that's too much, but I mean, we see this intervention through the banks now. Can we expect it to go to the BDCs, individuals, and all of that? Any news on that?
So nothing at the moment, but I do agree with you in terms of, especially from the retail space, there is a lot of demand that is still waiting to be met. So if we can see this or a similar thing done, particularly for BDCs, that would also help, in terms of meeting some of the demand that, maybe not as high as for some corporates, but I think it will definitely go a long way in reducing it. I do share the same positivity from you in terms of hopefully we can get back to 700 levels. At some point this year, we're about 1,100. I think that was at the back end of April. So I am hopeful and expectant that, before the end of the year, we can hopefully get back to those sorts of levels. But I think, for now, it is a good drive. It does show a lot of proactivity from our central bank governor, in terms of looking at the demand and seeing that, okay, maybe these interventions to banks are not necessarily giving the results that they want. Let them look at, dealing directly with customers, via banks essentially, and helping to ease some of that demand. So hopefully we can get to 700.
Yeah, we'll pray. We'll stay in prayer together, Dimola. Thank you so much. Yeah, do have a great day. Yeah.
You too.